Hi singers, hi vocal teachers, thank you so much for watching my video. My name is Sevana Salmasi. I am a vocal teacher and an opera singer living in Vienna. And you can have some information about me on my website, which I will post right under this video. Okay, if you want to know who I am, where I studied, and what my CV is. Okay. Today, I'm going to talk about mixing chest voice with the head voice in your middle range and in your high range. And I'm going to explain you why this is so important and why this is kind of a secret. I think that the old singers back in the 50s, in the 40s, like Del Monaco, Caruso, Corelli, Cosotto, all these singers from the past, which we adore and admire a lot because of their technique and because of their strong and full voices, because of their technical stability. We admire them, but we actually don't know why they were better than we are today. I think I have an idea why they were singing better than today. I think they were using much more chest voice portion in their middle ranges and in their high ranges, which gave them a more stable technique, which gave them fuller and bigger voices. And that I think that was already integrated that time in their technique. We lost that in our generation and the generation before. I think that we are not using enough of chest voice mixture in our middle range, in our high ranges. We are kind of isolating and banning the chest voice too much, and we are using too much of head voice. We are using too much of this portion, and we are not using this. And why am I showing you this? Well, chest voice for women means speaking voice. Our speaking voice is our chest voice, right? If we do a, e, I, o, u, it's the same like a, e, I, o, u, right? It's our chest voice, is our speaking voice. For men, it's their middle range is their speaking voice. Okay, so you need to find out what your chest voice or your speaking voice is. We can also keep it with speaking voice, but I just want to continue and repeat the chest voice because it's so important. Now, our speaking voice, the most of the people, they feel their speaking voice here on their sternum. Like 90%, whoever I ask, where do you feel your speaking voice? Where do you feel the resonances? Okay. Then they say, I feel my resonances here. Okay. Let me tell you something else before I go into this. Okay, I will come right back to this theme. My previous video about leaning on the voice, appoggiare, was very interesting for a lot of people. So I got a lot of feedback. Some told me it worked immediately and they were very happy because they were already using it on stage. And also beginning students were very happy because for them it worked really very well. But there were also some people or friends of mine who contacted me and said, Sevana, I tried my best, but I don't feel this leaning on the sternum. I don't know where you feel it, but I don't feel this connection with my voice, with my sternum. How do you do that? So, and one of my students actually also had troubles to find that, to lean on his or her voice on the sternum, on the chest bone. And remember, I am doing this leaning on because if you lean on your voice on something, that is what my previous video was about this, then your vocal cords will close, and that means your appoggio will work better for you automatically, so you are able to create great sound. Okay, so but if you don't have the feeling like that your voice is is not leaned on, if your voice is not leaned on something, then you are kind of lost, and your voice is kind of lost because you have no control of it. So everybody is looking for something to lean on his voice or to focus his voice, which is the same thing. Focusing and leaning on the voice is the same thing, okay? So I understood that for some people, this leaning on is not working. So I found another way for you guys. Maybe this will work for you. Did you ever hear about Canta come si parla? Speaking voice. Where is your speaking voice? Find your speaking voice. Mine, when I speak, now I get to the point. When I speak, my speaking voice is here. I feel the most resonances here. Of course, my speaking voice is here because here are my vocal cords, right? But the most resonances when I talk, I feel on my sternum. So a very low position. And this is also my chest voice, okay? So that means I am going to put my middle range and my whole range on my speaking voice level, or on that point where I feel my speaking voice or my chest voice. This is the same thing, right? So when I have my speaking voice here, A, E, I, O, U, and I feel drr, drr, I feel a lot of resonance, and I feel a little contraction or a compression here, or a little pressure. That's all good, because this is the resonance. This is something you feel, right? Because these are resonance waves which go and resonate on a bone. That's what you feel, okay? So, A, E, I, O, and don't be afraid. Use your full speaking voice, okay? A, E, E. Oh, here it is. Okay, now I feel the point. Now I sing it. A, E, I, O, U. You can give vibration, or you can just leave it straight. A, E, I, O, U. Okay? Now I have this point. Now I feel the point where the most resonation is, right? Now put your middle range, now, couple of tones higher, right into that speaking voice level. So let's do it. I put my full voice into the same speaking voice level, and I don't loosen it up. No, I have to feel that contraction, that resonation, whatever you want to call it, for my middle range and for the high range as well. So the same feeling you have with your chest voice, speaking voice, your same feeling you need to have for your high range. Then, when you feel that you have a full big voice up there, then you're using more chest voice mixed up with your head voice. Then you're mixing it. Okay, let's do it one more time. I put my high range exactly where my chest voice is. So I put it right where my speaking voice is. My speaking voice is here, and exactly where I feel my speaking voice, I put my high range. Okay? Or my high range. I'm not warmed up, but I try my best. So you can put your highest tone exactly where your speaking voice is. For me, there is no, here's my secondo passaggio, here is my high note. No. For me, everything is on my speaking voice level. Canta come si parla. And sometimes, if you cannot find it in the beginning phase, you can use a little glottis. And once you find it, then don't use it again, because using glottis too much will make your voice tired. oh, I found it. And now without the glottis. So use a little bit glottis to find the speaking voice level, but then leave it away. Then do it smooth, a smooth onset. And that way you will start using a much lower position, a much lower onset. So when I go on stage, I don't think, I'm not yawning. Why should I yawn? By the way, I think yawning is the biggest crime of our singing generation. Because yawning means to put the vocal cords apart. And then once we sing, they come together. Why should we put our vocal cords so much apart and then again for singing together? This doesn't make sense. So it's better to not yawn and put them so much apart, and then it's better to leave the yawn aside. Put it aside. It's only highering your position. It's making your position too high. So you're losing your actual natural onset, which is your speaking voice level. Your speaking voice level is a natural position of your voice. And from there, right there, you need to sing operatic as well, right at your speaking voice level. Yeah? It will shock you in the first moment probably because it's so low and it's so heavy in the first moment, but it's because you're using now your full voice. And that's what we are looking for, right? We want a full, nice voice and stability. And when you use your chest voice or your speaking voice as a base, as an anchor, and then you put the other notes which are higher, like this, yeah, on that base, on that speaking voice level, every note, you have the onset, every note from here, yeah, then you will not have the feeling that you have different positions. You have only one position, the speaking voice position. And from there you sing every note, every range, every note in your range, okay? So again, use your chest voice or your speaking voice. A, E, I, O. And that is your onset position. That is your singing position now. The resonances you just felt. And then from there, I. So one time with glottis, one time without glottis. I. Remember the place where the glottis was, but don't do it the second time, okay? Because it's not nice, it's not gentle to do glottis all the time. But if you need it to find this low position, do it, okay? Gena Dimitrova, my favorite thing. She was doing that a lot. In very difficult areas, she was bringing herself down to that low speaking position by doing the glottis, because while you sing you lose that low position, you go higher and higher, so you bring back yourself down with the glottis, okay? So sometimes you can, in Schubert songs or in Liedern, you can use the glottis as a tool, as a style, yeah? So einmal, okay? Oder ich finde sie nimmer und nimmer mehr. Yeah, so I'm always here, and with some vowels, only vowels, you can do a little glottis to bring yourself back on your speaking voice level. So this is another approach, another way to connect your voice with your speaking voice, or bring your ranges into, mix it up with your chest voice, yeah? So there's so many terminologies, so many words that I can use, but you have to find yourself which terminology, which words work the best for you. If you like to use the word chest voice, mixing it with the head voice, then use that. Some people would use speaking voice, okay? Or you can use the word resonation, or you can use the word anchor. So how you call your anchor or how you call your position, it's up to you. Which words you use, which words will work for you, that is up to you. You have to find yourself. And I know that singers are very sensitive people, and they don't like to change a lot in their terminology. They like to stick with their old terminology. So try to find your terminology, but the goal is to mix more speaking voice or more chest voice. The speaking voice is for men and chest voice for women, okay? Because we are not singing really in our speaking voice. We are singing higher. We are singing one octave higher. Sorry. That's why I am using the word chest voice for women and speaking voice for men. Okay, so maybe this was a better approach for you. If my previous video was not a good way for you, maybe this was it. Yeah, so come from your chest voice into your higher range, but take your chest voice with it in the higher range. Yeah. Or this is one way to think, or put your high range into your speaking voice level, okay? And feel a lot of resonances on your sternum when you're singing middle range. If you don't feel resonance on your chest bone, then probably you're not using enough speaking voice or chest voice mixed with your head voice in your middle range or high range. Yeah. Sing it also in the highest notes. I always feel a connection. When I sing a high C up there, then I still feel resonance here. It's still connected with my speaking voice or with my chest voice. Yeah, that way my high notes are very stable, are not cracking. Oh, by the way, cracking and breaking notes are coming from two less chest voice portion in your voice. Then head voice is too much. And chest voice is isolated of your voice. That's why tenors or women don't crack so much, but tenors crack a lot. So tenors, when they crack, then they are not using enough speaking voice mixed with their head voice. Then you need to bring down your voice on your speaking voice level and mix it with your head voice. Okay, then you are using too much head voice, and then it cracks. Of course it cracks. Yeah. So I know this is a topic that will create a lot of the discussions, and some of the vocal teachers will probably say, what is she talking about? She's crazy. But I think singing is a very natural thing, and speaking is our natural thing, which we have since we are born. So I am just putting my operatic voice into a very natural position, which is the speaking position. And I think this is the true way, because speaking and singing are on the same place. It's happening all here in these two centimeters here. This is where the vocal cords are, right? You sing there, you speak there, you cry there, whatever is with sound, you're creating at your vocal cords. Okay, so why should we put our operatic voice somewhere else? Why should we think it somewhere else? We need to think it on the same place where you're speaking, where you're crying, yeah, or shouting, all the same place. We need to have a good vocal cord closure. And in order to have a good vocal cord closure, we need to use our speaking voice mixed up with our head voice for the operatic singing. Okay? So, let me know. Oh, by the way, put this in your brain. Let me know if you have some questions, if anything was unclear, and let me know if it works for you this time. And watch my previous videos. I have a video about Appoggio, and I have another video about leaning on the voice. And this is the third video on my YouTube channel. Please watch these 3 videos all together, and then let me know what you think. I'm always interested in feedback. Okay, have a wonderful day and thank you for watching this.